Apparently, as Charlaine made very clear in her book, sex with vampires is really kind of great.
If you survive.
Yeah, if you survive. And one would imagine if you have, if you have had a few hundred years to learn how to please your partner and you still have the body of like a 25, 30-year-old person, you'd be kind of a hot catch. Aside from the biting part.
Sam, let me ask you a question. One, we know that you have a little thing for Sookie. Where do you think, where will that go? Will we see something? Will you be satisfied in this first season? Where does that go? That's not a sex question.
Yeah, Sam is eventually satisfied to a certain degree, but he's a very got a sort of a frustrated love for something that's very strong and is very sort of a protective love as well. Sam really doesn't like vampires and sort of has a knowledge of vampires that other people in town don't have, and so he's relentless with Sookie. I'll just put it that way, relentless.
Now, Charlaine, maybe you can jump in on this too. I know in the book, Sam's character has a special power. Will we see that in the series?
Sam's special.
He does definitely have a special power, correct?
He's got his own secrets. He definitely does. And yes, you see that in the
That happens the first season, Alan?
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't want to give it away. Okay. Is it similar to what Sookie has, or is it something entirely different?
It's something entirely different.
By the way, is there more to Sookie than just being telepathic? Does she have something else
Yes.
that she can offer? Okay. Does it involve sex? Right. All right, Ryan, your character in this, I've had the pleasure of seeing the first 2 episodes, and I have to tell you that, while brilliant, he really plays this misogynistic ass. And so, I mean, I know that we're coming to the point that he has a redeeming quality. Please tell me what it is.
All the questions. Alan told me from the get-go that more than anything with this character, Jason Stackhouse, it is fun to be Jason, and he loves women. I mean, don't we all? And his love for women tends to get him into a lot of trouble and takes him to the dark side. But he enjoys that dark side. He has a thirst for that dark side, and yes, there is redeeming qualities, but you have to look very, very hard.
He is suspicious of Bill early on, correct?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Alan, now his character is involved. I'm sorry, it's back to sex. I can't help it. But in the pilot, there is obviously some violent sex there. Is this a theme from the book? And will we continue to see this? Because after all, we're talking about sex with vampires. Is this something that will? Yes.
I'll gladly refer to that.
In the books, there was mention of rough sex, and some of the women who met their maker, so to speak, having been into rough sex, and there having been some videotapes, and Jason having been a part of it, and it having been videotaped. We see a little bit more of that in the TV show than perhaps was in the book, but I don't think we also see a lot of very romantic sex. Just because when you have sex with a vampire, it doesn't have to be violent. It can also be really, really romantic. It depends on the vampire. Vampires are like humans. Each one is different. I mean, everybody knows that, right?
Okay, Rutina. Tara, we see in the pilot, she's acid-tongued, and she seems to, at the very least, can't hold down a job. What is her problem? What's going on with her?
She has a hard shell, but for reasons of, I would say her upbringing was very rough. So she kind of came up with all these defenses and has a lot of cooped up anger, but on the inside, there's this very delicate, very sensitive flower that I think you'll maybe start to see as the season goes along. I mean, she's just a girl who, she's just a girl. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with her. It's just life has been hard. And so sometimes you can't see past, she can't get over her past. She's just holding on to it. And I think she gets to a point where she finally is able to let go of some of her demons, I guess, so to speak.
What's her relationship like with Suki? What's the dynamic between those two ladies?
They're the bestest of friends. That's my girl. I think we grew up together like from, I would say, really young on up. She's been there for me when no one else was. Her family really took care of me when I didn't have anybody else. So.
What do you think about her brother?
He's hard. she's madly in love with Jason Stackhouse. She's completely and utterly in love with him. Knows he's a complete idiot and stupid, but loves him.
She knows what kind of guy he is, right?
She knows exactly what kind of guy he is, but she loves him. She wants it. Yeah.
Okay, Nelsan, what's the deal with Lafayette? It's funny that what the press release for the show describes is whose personal life is as colorful as his wardrobe. So, who is he? Who is this guy?
Well, he's Tara's cousin. He works at Relax as the cook. He also works on the road crew with Jason. He sells vampire blood, which is an aphrodisiac and probably the best drug on the market. He has a gay porn website and he escorts. So he's an entrepreneur. That's
Let's come out of that.
He's a gay porn website. That was in the books too? Like a gay porn website?
No, but I'm good with it.
Now you're talking about you sell the blood. That's contraband blood? I mean, this is illegal, correct?
Yes.
Now, can you explain how that works too? As we see a little bit of that in the pilot, there's the dealing of this precious blood. How does that work out?
Vampire blood is a very volatile drug. It affects people differently. There are some people who can sort of learn how to, what they call, ride the wave. Other people, it has a very intense physical reaction. Some people, it's dangerous. I mean, it's a gamble when you take it. It can drive you mad. It can be a powerful aphrodisiac. It can be a powerful sexual performance enhancement drug. It can be hallucinatory. It can open your eyes to all kinds of deeper, more primal nature. You never know what it is. It depends on who you are, what vampire it came from, how it interacts with your particular physiology. It is, in the world of the show, it's the hot drug. It's very expensive and a lot of people want it.
We're going to take a few of your questions too, so if you'd like to line up, I'll ask one more, and then I'll meet you over there at the microphone. This is going to be serialized, correct? This is very serialized, so if somebody stumbles on in like the 7th episode, will they understand what's going on?
I would suggest watching it from the beginning. Every episode will have a previously on True Blood moment, which will highlight exactly the plot points you need to know for that particular episode. But one of the things I loved about the books, and that I've tried to retain in the series, is that each chapter would end with a cliffhanger, and I would feel like I want to see what else is going to happen, and I would keep coming back. A lot happens in this show. A lot happens in every episode. But I'm assuming that I'm not the most techno-savvy person on the planet, but I'm better than John McCain, I can tell you that. I'm assuming that you'll be able to download episodes on the HBO website. I'm assuming you can watch HBO on demand, so or definitely you can TiVo it. So, but I would say it'll take some time to catch up if you tune in the middle.
Go ahead, let's go to the first question.
Hi there, everybody. Right here. Mr. Ball, my question is for you. 6 Feet Under had some of the most realistic portrayals of human interaction that I've ever seen in media, and I'm wondering how closely you're planning to have characters and realism associated with each other in this series, because, you know, it seems vampires and all, it's not exactly that firmly rooted in reality, so I'm wondering how you're planning to sort of counter that.
Well, I believe that, and we all address this as if it is rooted in reality. We're not winking at the camera.